You have to hire before you can afford it. Again, if I wanted to keep my flexibility with my family, and I also kind of started to get back into coaching, then I knew I needed to hire someone. My first hire did not work out very well because we were in separate rooms and there was no easy communication. So when I came to Arcola, I made sure my office had a place where my assistant and I could just see each other sitting. And I could block off my room if I needed, but hiring that first assistant was key to building the practice. And that was very successful for us. That assistant and I I bought the building in Arcola. I designed the building, took the whole middle. I designed it so at least 3 of the people in the building can all sit in their desk and see each other without getting up. And then I knew that I did not have an assistant, but I didn't really have that client services person. I didn't have that extra help I needed because now the kids are really busy. And so again, I took another leap of faith, and that's when I hired Judy Smith, who was with me for 20 years. And again, you need to hire before you can afford it so that you can continue to grow. If you don't hire, you can't grow, and it's no fun to work by yourself. But what happened is Bill passed away within 3 years of when I got into the industry, which scared me to death. He's my mentor, he's the one that got me in this, what's gonna happen, and my clientele had started to build. And then I'm about year 5 and I'm thinking, well, what if something happens to me? These people, my clients were so important to me. So Dan and I are the middle kids, and he was selling cars at the time, had 2 little kids, and he's always been the kind of guy that can do anything. He sang at my wedding. He's a good athlete. He's the kind of guy that can do anything he chooses to do. So I'm like, well, maybe I should see if Dan would be interested in doing this.
This career path kind of came in an indirect way through my sister, Lisa. She was seeing her business grow, and she needed to know that somebody would be able to take care of her clients. Potentially if something happened to her, God forbid something happened to her, that somebody else could be the succession for that. So I trusted my sister that she was going to guide me in the correct direction on that. She saw something inside of me that she felt like that I could be an asset in this type of industry. Anytime you change, there's always that fear. Change can be difficult, but I had to take the leap of faith and just put my hard work into the industry and just get my skills up to where they needed to be to one, make sure that I didn't fail, and to know that she was proud of what I've accomplished with it.
It was really nice to know that I had somebody also that I knew was raised like I was, that if something did happen to me, would definitely take care of my clients. And so that's kind of how he got into it. And of course then his practice has grown to the point where he can't take over my practice. And with Stan coming into the business, Stan has been interested in this since I can't remember when he wasn't.
Financial planning was always something that I really had a passion for, even growing up. My mom always liked to say, my first words were to buy stock.
I can remember when he was little, he was going around the grocery store saying, buy stocks, buy stocks. You start a business and then you think, boy, it'd be nice if somebody goes into it, but you don't want to push anybody to it. But Stan's interest has always been there. And so he went to college. That's what he was always going to study. I really, really had a plan for him to go away like you're supposed to and work somewhere else first before they come into your office. Well, he graduated from college and Arcola hired him as the assistant basketball coach. And again, in our family, we coach. And so he got to coach where he played. And so he was going to always be in our office, and he really, really grew into the practice, and he actually runs the office on a daily basis now, hires the staff. He's a really good financial advisor.
It's always been one of my passions, along with sports and other sort of things like that. It's been, like I said, it's been in my blood since day one, and ever since I was a small kid helping around the office, even when it was over in Oakland. It's, like I said, it's just always been a part of my life and always something I've really enjoyed. And then obviously going to school for it and learning more about it, becoming more involved with it has only driven that passion on. And it's something that I can't imagine myself doing anything else at this point.
I'm John Brent Bennett. I'm a certified financial planner. I've worked with Boyer and Sappenfield Investment Advisors for 12 years. I kind of had a list of boxes that I wanted to check for my job that I wanted to actually take. So I had looked around, hadn't found anything. I had actually The week prior to interviewing with Lisa and Stan, I had accepted another position at a bank that was just in finance because it was getting to the point where I'd been out of school long enough. I needed to, at least get into a finance related role. One of my friends at the time had interviewed with Lisa, and she realized that that position wasn't right for her. But from her interview with Lisa, she realized the job actually checked a lot of my boxes. So she had mentioned to Lisa that she knew somebody else that would actually be a much better fit for the role. At that point, I came in, interviewed. The next day, Lisa offered me the position. So then I had to great personal turmoil, I had to turn down that other job that I had already accepted. So that brought a little nervous feelings to that. I was really honest with those individuals, which actually panned out really well, because in my first week at Boyer and Sappenfield, the individual that I had turned down the job for was actually a client of the firm. So I had interacted with them in my new role pretty early on. So that was a good thing that what I felt like I'd ended that on good terms, even though I didn't end up taking that position.
My name is Drew Sappenfield. I've been working here this is my 11th year now. I'm a financial planner and paraplanner for Dan, and I am also an investment advisor of my own too. Being in the family business, I always kind of knew I kind of wanted to do this, but I went to school. I originally thought I was going to be an accountant, and I realized I like talking to people more than just sitting behind a computer all day.
I think he had that desire because he saw Dad. He did everything. I mean, we'd be at the gym together, we'd be at the baseball diamond, we did everything together. So I think he just felt like I wanted to be doing what Dad did, all right, which was awesome. But also he had to go out and earn that. All right, so when he got out of college, he got his finance degree from Eastern Illinois, and then he went to work for a different company. And so I told him, let's go work for somewhere else. Don't come work for me. Work for somewhere else, get some knowledge somewhere else. And then if you choose to come back, and he did. After that experience, it gave him an opportunity to think that this was really an industry for him.
Dad never once mentioned me taking over the business at all. He kind of let me form my own opinions of what the business was, and I watched him interacting with clients and stories he would tell, and it's something that I just thought, that's an amazing thing to be able to help people the way that he can.
Yeah, he's not just there because Dad says, you got to be here, right? And you can't be in this industry just because it takes a lot of dedication to be in this, and there's a lot of ups and downs in this industry, especially when you're building a business.